Hey Omies, I'm Stephen Ewashkiw, and this is about a 20-minute quick hit practice for your back. We're gonna build strength in your back in 20 minutes. You don't need any props, just unroll your mat, and I'll meet you there in a few seconds. All right, let's get right to this. Come on your hands and knees. And move through a few rounds of cat and cow. Stretch your back, round your back. It's cat pose. Arch your back, look forward, look up, lift your hips back and up. Cow pose. You can move through these at your own pace. Think about really rounding your back in your cat pose. And really arching your lower back and your upper back in your cow pose. Do another couple of those and then come to neutral or back to all fours. Stretch your right arm out in front of you, turn your right palm in. Stretch your left leg back. So left hand on the ground, right leg on the ground. Push down through your left hand, right knee, right foot. Lift up through your right hand, lift up through your left leg. And then bring your left knee and your right elbow to touch. Round your back like cat. This is Vyagrasana, tiger pose. Then stretch out through your right arm and left leg. Look forward, even look up, and then draw it in again. Knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Stretch it out, lift up, draw it in and touch. Round your back, stretch it out, lift up through your hand, lift up through your leg, and then come back in. Draw it in, elbow to knee to elbow. Stretch it out, draw it in, hand down, knee down. Other side, stretch your left arm out, turn your palm in, and stretch your right leg back. Push down through your right hand, push down through your left knee, left foot. Lift your left hand a little more, lift your right leg a little more, and then draw them in. Round your back, bring your elbow and knee to touch. And then stretch it out. Lift through your left arm, lift through your right leg, draw it in to touch, elbow to knee, round your back, stretch it out, look up, come in, elbow to knee, stretch it out, lift your leg, lift your hand, draw it in, stretch it out. One more, draw it in, hand and knee down, all fours. Cool, good times. Walk your knees back a little bit. Tuck your toes under so you're in a knees down plank pose. Shift your shoulders forward a little. And if your shoulders are coming way in front of your wrists here, just walk your hands forward a little. Working more for arms straight up and down than arms forward in front. So we're not looking for shoulders in front of your wrists. Wrists under your shoulders. Like that, because we're gonna do a few push-ups here. But I'm looking out for you. We got our knees down. So bend your elbows a little, and then hug your elbows in towards your ribs. Bend your elbows a little more, Chaturanga. Look forward a little, and then straighten your arms. And then bend your elbows. Think about your breastbone, the front of your chest. Stretch it forward as you bend your elbows and lower, and then straighten your arms. One more of these, Chaturanga. Bend your elbows, lower till your shoulders are as high as your elbows. Stretch your chest forward, straighten your arms. Nice, and then come all the way down onto your belly. Cool. Stretch your arms back at your sides. Turn your palms up. Place your feet flat behind you. Have your feet just separated a little bit. And then have your chin on the ground. We're going to do some locust pose with our arms back. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, lift your hands. Keep your feet on the ground for now. Push down through your feet. Push down through your belly and lift your chest. And breathe. Lift up and come down. And come up. Inhale and lower down. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. This time, hold it. Stay here. Exhale, push down through your feet. Inhale, lift through your breastbone. Stay here. Exhale. Inhale, lift through your breastbone. Exhale, come all the way down. Roll over onto your back. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. Set up for bridge pose, but we're not going to do full bridge pose. We're just going to use the shape to help us get a little bit of our back working. Push down through your feet, bend your elbows so your fingers are pointing up towards the sky. And then tuck your butt so that your lower back rounds, maybe even comes down to the ground. Push your feet down, and then lift your hips up. Stay here. Push your feet down, push your upper arms down, and expand your chest a little. And then lift your hips up higher. Push down through your upper arms, lift through your middle back. So work to get the back of your ribs coming away from the ground. Lift through your upper back. So you're really pushing down through your shoulders. And breathe here. Don't bring your hips all the way down to the ground. Bring them down and hover off the ground. So lower your hips, hover off the ground, hold that, arch your upper back and lift your hips up. Lower your hips, hover off the ground, push through your upper arms, arch into your upper back and lift your hips. Lower your hips, push your upper arms down, lift through your chest, lift your hips, lower your hips, lift your hips. One more, lower your hips, hover off the ground and stay here. Push through your upper arms and come all the way down. Cool. Roll over and come onto your belly again. This time you need some space in front of you. So stretch your arms out in front of you. See what space you've got there. Cool. Touch your chin down to the ground. Separate your feet a little and press your feet down into the ground. Push your belly down into the ground, lift your head, lift your arms, and then side bend to the left. Take your left arm over to the left, take your torso to the left, bring your right arm with you, and then come down, doing a little side bend over to the left. And then push down through your lower body, lift your right hand and arm, lift your head, lift your left arm, come up and over all the way to the right. And come down to the ground. Hands down, head down, push down through your lower legs, lift your left arm, head, right arm, come up and over to the left again. Push down through your lower body, up and over to the right, and up and over to the left, and up and over to the right. Come back to center, up and center, and then bring your hands back under your shoulders, and sit up. Cool. Come onto your back. Take your hands behind your head, bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, and lift your head off the ground. Look up past your knees, and then bring your feet off the ground and bring your shins roughly parallel to the ground. And then, like you're on some really strange bicycle here, start to pedal. Lift your head a little higher, lift your shoulders off the ground if you can, look up past your knees. And then, now it's a really strange bike. Imagine that you've got to climb up a stair, take your feet just a little higher, and then pedal the bike there. Take your feet up towards the ceiling a little higher, and pedal the bike there. And then go back to that last spot. Into the first spot. And then go a little lower. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's going to get a little tougher. Lift your shoulders a little higher. Go a little lower. Push your legs away. Almost straighten them. Or straighten them. And then bring your feet to the ground. Bring your head and shoulders down to the ground. Take your arms down at your sides. Place your hands flat on the ground beside your feet. So knees bent still. Good. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, look up past your knees. This time we're going to do some side bends. Side bend to the right, shorten your right side. Slide your right hand past your foot. I call these oblique reaches. So reach with your right hand, shorten your obliques on your right side. And then come back to center and go over to the left. Shorten your left side, slide your left hand by your left foot. Really shorten the left side of your waist, your whole left torso, and come back to center. And then oblique reach to the right and back to center. Lift your shoulders, oblique reach to the left, back to center. Go to the right and back, go to the left and back. Again, right, center, left, center. One more each side. Lift your shoulders and then come down onto your back. Pause here. Take your hands behind your head. Lift your head. Lift your shoulders. Straighten your right leg on the ground. Lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. And then lift your right heel so it hovers off the ground. So your right leg is off the ground just a little. And then change legs. Lift your right leg, lower your left. Lift your left leg, lower your right. Change sides, keep your heel off the ground. Change sides, lift your shoulders off the ground. Change sides. Change sides. 3 more each side. Can we do that? That's 1. That's 2. You got it? That's 3. And bend your knees, bring your feet down to the ground. Full bridge pose. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. Full bridge as in Setu Bandha, not full wheel. So bend your elbows. Tuck your butt a little, lift your hips up. Interlace your hands underneath you, tuck your shoulders underneath you. Push down through your shoulders, lift up through your butt. To help get your legs involved, pull your feet towards your hands. They won't move, but you might get your hamstrings firing up. Then push your upper arms down and lift through your upper back. Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana, bridge pose. Lower your hands and lower your butt. Cool. And stand up for a second. Whoa, really? Yeah, we're gonna come off the ground for just this one thing. Stand up. Take your feet about hip distance apart. Have your feet about parallel to each other. Bend your knees a little, stick your butt back, and then fold forward like a third of the way. So I want you to keep your back straight, and then take your arms and hang them down in front of you. You need some space out to the sides so that you can take your arms out to the sides, because that's what we're gonna do. So make fists so that your hands are like weights. And then lift your arms out to the sides, squeeze your shoulders towards each other, your shoulder blades. Hold, and then lift your hands a little higher, and then lower, and lift, and lower, and lift. Just that little pulse at the top. Again, and then bring your arms down. Lift your arms up and out, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, and stay here. And then we're gonna do those little pulses. So before we do that, stick your butt back, lift through your breastbone, and then do these little pulses. Just lift your hands a little, and then lower. Lift your arms a little, and lower. And up and down, just little movements here. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, and then bring your arms all the way down. Bring your arms up, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, bring them down. Bring them up, lift up, squeeze your shoulder blades in, and then bring them down. One more, lift up, and bring them down. Relax, sit down. Come onto your back. Just a couple more. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. Lift your right knee up and in so you can take your left hand and place your left hand on your right knee. Take your right hand behind your head. Stretch your left leg out and hover your left heel off the ground. Then lift your right heel as high as your knee. Take your head back, look up, open your right elbow. And here we go. Cross core crunches. Bring your left knee, right elbow, to touch your left arm. Cross it in and touch your left arm. Keep your left arm straight, and then open it up. Straighten your left leg, open your right elbow, look up, and then bring it in. Left knee, right elbow to touch. Stretch it out, curl it in. Stretch it out, lift your shoulders, curl your belly up and in. Stretch it out. Draw in, keep your left arm straight, open it up. Curl it up, stretch it out. 3 more, curl it up and in, stretch it out. Up and in, and open it up. And last one here, open it up, and then here we're gonna jump switch. So, left hand behind your head, right hand to left knee. Jump switch, or find your way here. Straighten your right leg out, open your left elbow to the side, look up, have your left heel about as high as your left knee, straighten your right arm, and then before we lose it all, Curl it up and in. Bring your elbow and knee to touch, your right arm, and then stretch it out. Up and in, touch elbow to knee or to right arm, stretch it out. Touch your right arm, stretch it out. Curl up and in, and out. And up, and out. 2 more. And out, and up, and in, and stretch it out. And come down, bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, lift your hips up. Not like a fancy bridge pose. Call this casual bridge. It's just a nice counter pose for your six pack, for your rectus abdominis. And then bring your hips down and come into downward facing dog. Settle your mind here by starting to steady your breath. We're just going to do this, up dog, child's pose, and a quick shavasana. Steady your breath. Stretch your hips up. Bring your ears in line with your upper arms. Shift forward to plank pose. Stretch forward through your breastbone. Shift forward. Roll over your toes or flip your toes over, 1 foot at a time. Lower your hips, lift your chest. Up dog. Now that we've really woken up our back, lift through your upper back here. And child's pose. Bring your knees down, feet together. And then take a moment to settle your mind. Rest your arms. Slow your breath down. And then make your way onto your back. If you can keep your eyes closed during that transition from child's pose into shavasana, it'll just help you make that shift into your shavasana a little more smooth, I think. It's my experience. Find your way onto your back and just settle here for about 2 minutes. You've earned it. It's a lot of work. Let your body reset. Let your heart rate reset. Release any focus on your breath. Relax your face, your feet, your hands. Start to deepen your breath and to move a little as you like. When you're ready, bend your knees and turn onto your side and find your way back up to seated. Thanks for joining me for that quick hit. I really love getting this kind of really focused work into my practice and getting it into these little quick hits. You don't need a lot of time if you're going to focus like that. Thanks for being here. If you'd like to do a full class with me, there's one of my full classes you can click on. Do it now if you've got the energy, or add it to your watch later list. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please just click my picture over there to subscribe. Easy as that. If you've got any questions, put it in the comments below. Thanks.